Ciao! Have you ever wondered how to integrate your data from AWS S3 with Snowflake? In this video, you will find an answer. We'll go step by step through explanation of what storage integration is, creation of brand new S3 bucket with proper access, and integration of this bucket into a Snowflake. Stay tuned. Just quick reminder. Completing these instructions requires sufficient AWS privileges for S3 bucket creation and permissions to create and manage IAM policies and roles. So make sure you have that before going further. So if you have that already, let's get some theory first. A storage integration in Snowflake is a configuration object that allows Snowflake to interact with external cloud storage services such as Amazon S3, Microsoft Azure Blob Storage, or Google Cloud Storage. It acts as a bridge between Snowflake and external storage, enabling data ingestion, storage, and retrieval operations. Basically, everything you need. In this video, we'll go only through AWS S3 integration, while other two will be covered in the upcoming videos. So if you are interested, hit the subscribe button below to do not miss them. With storage integrations object, you can avoid the need for passing explicit credentials such as secret keys or access tokens. Instead, integration object store an AWS IAM user ID for connecting to S3 bucket. On the graphic, you can see AWS ecosystem on the left and Snowflake on the right. An external stage, like one linked to S3, points to a storage integration object defined within it. Then, Snowflake automatically links the storage integration to IAM user created in your account for S3. It creates a single IAM user used by all S3 storage integrations in your Snowflake account. So, when a user loads a data to a stage, Snowflake verifies the permissions granted to the IAM user on the bucket before allowing or denying access. Once created, storage integrations can be used in multiple external stages to get data from many different buckets. Just imagine how powerful is this tool. Many S3 buckets, different external stages, and one storage integration. But be cautious, because adding too many buckets into one storage integration may be not a good idea when it comes to maintaining this integration in the future. Okay, but enough theory for now. Let's go to the AWS console where we will create a new S3 bucket for the storage integration. So in here, I will just choose the S3. As you can see, I have the bunch of different buckets already created, but in this case, I will create brand new. So let's click on the create bucket. For AWS region, you can choose which suits you the best. For me, automatically is Frankfurt because it's the closest location for me. And also my Snowflake account is also hosted on this region. So it's the best idea in this case. So let's put a name. Let's call it Snowflake Ninja Storage Integration Bucket. And for the rest of the options here, we can skip for now. It's not necessary in this exercise. So let's create this bucket. And this bucket is created, Snowflake Ninja S3 bucket. So now we can go further. On the next step, Snowflake recommends creating an IAM policy for Snowflake access to the S3 bucket. You can then attach the policy to the role and use the security credentials generated by AWS for the role to access files in the bucket. So let's move to the IAM, manage and access. And then we'll go to the account settings. And first of all, let's check if the region of our Snowflake account is active. So here, as you can see, every region here is active, but also you can check your region on the left bottom corner, Snowflake, go to the account. As you can see, my region is as Frankfurt. And here, this region is also active, so everything is fine. Then as the next step, we'll need to create a policy. So let's go to the policy tab, click on the create policy, and here you can have the visual option or the JSON option. In this case, I will choose the JSON one because we can make a copy paste from the Snowflake documentation where it's already prepared. So let me just quickly copy this one out. And here we have some predefined allowed accesses to the buckets. And there are also a few cases where you need to put your S3 bucket name. So as we have created the S3 bucket, let's go quickly back to the S3. For me, it will be Snowflake Ninja storage integration bucket. Let me go to the management tab, or not to the management tab. Let me go to the properties tab. I will copy this one up. Let's copy the ARN. Go back to the policy section, and I will copy paste it over here. With this one, I don't need the prefix in this case because we'll allow everything here. And same with the resource. I want to put this ARN name of this resource. So in this case, I'm allowing access to every file on this S3 bucket. And same with the prefix. Let me just delete this one and just keep it as asterisk. Now let's click on the next, and let's name it Snowflake Ninja storage integration access. As you can see, it's already mentioned. The S3 is already mentioned in the services. So let's create the policy, and policy gets successfully created. So one step less for configuration the storage integration. So as the policy gets created, now we can create a brand new role where we can attach this policy to the role. So navigate on the roles in the access management on the left. I have some roles already created, but let's create a brand new role for this one. From these options, choose the AWS account, go for another AWS account. And here we will need to change it later on. So for now, let's put some temporary value. I can just copy my account ID, but I will change it later on. And from the options, choose the require external ID, because it's also necessary to configure storage integration. Here I will also put some temporary value of this external ID because we'll need to modify it in the future. So let's click on the next. And from the policies, we need to choose the policy we have just created. So let's go for the Snowflake Ninja. It's SE access. So we'll choose this one. We'll click next. And we are almost done here. So we just need to type a role name. So it can be Snowflake Ninja SE role for this. And let's just quickly check this one out. It's trusted entities. So it's like this AWS account ID, which we'll need to change, and also this external ID, which we'll also need to change. So everything at this moment looks fine. So we'll click on the create role, and this role gets created. And as we have created our role, it's finally time to create our storage integration in Snowflake. But first, let me just quickly go to the created role, and let's copy the ARN first. So let me copy this out. Let's move out to Snowflake. And here I have prepared already the needed code. So the code is pretty simple. In the integration name, we'll type the Snowflake Ninja storage integration. Then the type is, of course, external stage, storage provider in this case is S3. We would like to enable it. And in the storage AWS role ARN, we'll just paste the role I have just copied from AWS. So it's this one. When it comes to storage allowed locations, it depends which locations you would like to allow an access. So in this case, we would like to allow in the bucket, we would like to allow the whole access to the bucket we've just created. So we can just move back to our Snowflake Ninja packet, and I will just copy this bucket here. Let me just paste it here. Remove this one because it's not needed in this case. And when it comes to blocked locations, you can also choose the locations which we cannot access. So in this case, I will remove this section because we would like to allow whole access in this new bucket. So let me create this integration. And as you can see, it doesn't allow us with these names. So let me try it once again. Okay, it's working. And now let's use describe command to describe this integration, because we would need few things from here. So if you still remember a few steps before, there was two fields which I said we will need to come back there. One of these is AWS IAM user ARN, and the second one will be the storage AWS external ID. So let me copy this one, and we'll go back to the role, and we will need to replace the placeholder. So let's back to the AWS role. Let's go to the trust relationships tab. And now we can just click on the edit trust policy. In the AWS ARN, as you remember, that was my account ID. So I'll just replace it with the one from the Snowflake. That's the one thing. Let's quickly go back to the storage integration. And the second thing is the storage AWS external ID. So let's copy this one as well. Let's move back to the S3 role, AWS role, and in the external ID field, we'll replace the zeros with this one. Let's click on the update policy, and it's got successfully updated. And as the policy gets updated, we are now finally able to use the storage integration. So let me upload some data into the S3 bucket. So I have the data already prepared from the previous videos. So I'll just drag and drop it. It gets uploaded. We have the two very small customer files. So now we can create an external stage to check if it's actually working. So in this case, while creating an external stage, I will use exactly the same bucket, which is in the allowed locations in the storage integration, just to simplify the process. And I will also use this storage integration, which we have just created. So let me just run it. Storage integration has been, the external stage has been just created. And now let's list the files. And as you may see, those two files is showing up in the external status. It means that this storage integration is working fine. So to summarize, storage integration supports various cloud storage providers such as AWS, Google, and Azure. It acts kind of as a bridge between Snowflake and external cloud storage, and it's the most secure option of connecting to external sources. Besides this storage integration, there are also two other methods to integrate your Snowflake data with AWS, which I covered in my previous video about external stages, so make sure to check this one out. However, this one is the most secured and recommended by Snowflake, so always double check which one you want to use. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Ciao!